Hey YouTube, how you guys doing today? Kevin here, coming back at you with another video. Well, now we're at the time where we dialed in the CDI unit. So we get that all mixed, all figured out. And I figured I'd do an evaluation on these older motors, these older bikes. Now this is a KV75, very expensive bike motor. Very expensive bike. Okay, I mean in immaculate condition you're looking at about $1,500 to $2,000. Some even up a little higher than that. People restoring these things. This particular one had the snot beat out of it. It was ridden hard and put away wet. And I was looking at the sprocket on it. I said, gee, that sprocket looks almost brand new. And it has barely any wear on it. The chain and the rear sprocket are in excellent condition too. So why is that? Well, that's because they had to replace it. And they had to replace it because it broke, and you can see the rivet in the plate right there. It literally went through. So it cracked the cover. This cover's junk. It cracked the cover here, and it went straight through, and you can see all the silicone. Okay, they really just silicone the heck out of it up. So that cover right there is absolute junk, garbage. All right, so we have to put that on there. So I'm gonna put on here on the. I'm just getting ready to do. See my blank slate. I'll do a left side engine cover. That's the first thing that's bad on this thing. There's a lot that is wrong with this engine. Okay. Now looking at it, I noticed they did one good thing. When they screwed on that cover, they put a screw through the broken piece. So here, right here, you can actually see there's a hole. I'll bring it up. There's a hole right here where this piece of aluminum fits into, and it's one of the mounting bosses for that cover. So this, and it's also broken down here too, which you can't really see on the camera, but it's also broken down here too. These two things right here can be MIG welded, not MIG welded, TIG welded back together. And so I'm not going to lose this piece right here. I am going to I'm going to put it in the vise, do a thread chase on it, get the tap back into it, and then get that welded onto it. The other thing, when the chain broke through the cover, it, not here and here, but right here. So right here to right here, about an inch, there's a little, it's worn right there. So what we're going to do is we're going to have them TIG weld and fill that in, and then we're going to clean it up. Let me get my hammer back underneath that. So this is a video about talking about what to look for on motorcycles. And you can tell when a bike has been really just beat to snot just by looking at how dirty it is. I mean, obviously it hasn't been cleaned. Nobody cares about it. It's got an oil leak in here from a seal that's bad. I mean, the thing has just really been hammered. The shifter shaft, say that 10 times fast, the shifter shaft is, I had all I could do to get the lever off. It was double bolted, double nutted. And they had really cranked it in there. I mean, the thing was just super over tight and been on there for a super long time. And now you can see the shaft because it kept stripping out. See if I can get you onto it. Hold on. I'm stuck over here. You can see it. There's basically smooth. There's no threads on it. So that shaft needs to be replaced. Here's the problem with that. Those shafts aren't readily available for this motor. So what are we going to do in that case? So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to drain this engine out of oil. We're going to replace the seals that are bad. And then we're going to take the shaft out, cut it off the end, cut the weld off the other end of the mechanism. And we're going to replace it with a KE100 shaft. That's the same length. We'll probably have to cut it down, but it's the same diameter shaft, same thread on the end, same output end. So we're going to do measurements, thickness, length, and depth. Get that all measured up and get that cut so we can have it welded when we bring this down. So what we're going to do is we're going to clean this whole thing up. Not today, I'm just doing a video on showing you guys what to look for and different ways that you could fix these things up. Alright, so we have a good sprocket already on here. They put a new one on there. It's just really, really dirty. That you can pretty much see it's been replaced. We got the shaft. We'll get that on another motor. We're going to cut it, grind off the welds, have them, set the depth, re-weld it, and reinstall it. We're going to have this little piece right here MIG welded here, and have that filled in there. So we have some TIG welding and MIG welding to have done to this engine. Okay, moving forward. So we got the magneto plate all drilled out to where it needs to be. I used the condenser in there as a reference point. We got to remove that and take the condenser out because there's no points. It's all CDI. So the condenser's got to go. The crankshaft end looks great. So I'm not worried about that. And we have the grommet for up in here, and we have that right here. So we're going to put that in our little parts pile right there. We're going to check the end of the wiring. We have an end on here that is all electrical taped up because they cut the wiring harness off this bike. So I don't know what I'm looking at here. I don't know if it's in good shape. I don't know if it's bad shape, or if they just taped them together. I know that the the ignition wire is perfect, but I don't know if the charge wire and the neutral safety is any good. So for that I gotta check. And hopefully it's good. If not, we'll have to put another end on it, which is not that big of a deal. But if it's factory harness, I'd rather leave it factory. Okay. Well, good news, it's got both of the correct ends on it. So, wiring harness is good. So we're past that part now. Alright, so here's where we're at. We have to do the shifter shaft, which we know. The MIG weld there. We got to take another magneto back plate, drill the holes, make the template, and then we'll be able to use that for whoever wants to use that. So we have weld, shift, shaft, weld, housing. Okay, so we got those all down there. And now we're from here to here. Let's take a look and see what else we're looking at. Okay, now this is the heart of the engine up in the front here. Alright, so when you start getting up into the cylinders, a couple of things that drive me absolutely wild is broken fins. I don't like it. It's ugly and it reduces the cooling. So we automatically need a cylinder head. We have an oil leak down there we forgot to write. So we need seals. Hit the seals. I think that's a balancer shaft. Balancer shaft seal. Alright. We have a broken coolant fin on the head, so we need a cylinder head. I'm just going to replace that cylinder head. And we're going to take a look. I think this has a broken engine coolant fan. This side right here looks great. Yep, it has a broken fin on the cylinder. So we're going to go ahead and replace that as well. Even though it's in an insignificant spot right here, I still don't like that. I'm nuts like that. None of my other bikes have it. This one's not either. Alright, so looking up in here. Now at this time, I could flip the engine over. I can see the exhaust gasket right there. Let's see if you guys can see it too. At this point right here, you can actually see the condition of your cylinder and piston right through here. So, I'm going to grab a flashlight. I'll be right back. Okay, so now, take a look inside the cylinder. The cylinder actually looks very, very nice. You can see the piston. The skirt looks really nice. Everything looks really nice on that. So even though it's got a broken fin, it still has a good cylinder to it, which is good. Alright, so you don't have to replace a cylinder for a broken fin, especially one down this slow and that close to the exhaust side. But I'm building a vintage classic bike, and that's how I do things. Alright, so I wanted to show you guys something else too. Now that I got the bike upside down, the motor, okay, this confuses a lot of people. Alright, so if you're working on a KV75 or an MT1, there's two plugs on this motor. There's a plug here and a plug here. This plug that goes in at an angle is not a plug. Okay? That is a detent for your shifter. If you pull that out, what you're going to receive is you're going to receive a spring, a ball, a check ball. That allows the shifter to have, if you see that, your engine has one down and two up on these KV75s. Okay? The MT1, the earlier ones, didn't have that at all, because they were just, neutral was all the way down and then the three up. This one that goes straight down is your oil plug. Okay? So if you got to drain the oil, that's the one you're going to drain right there. That's your oil plug right there. Alright, so where we're at. Cylinder head, piston. Boom. Okay. We got that. The starter shaft, I'm going to declare good. Okay? It's decent. The shifter shaft is not. So that needs to be done. Okay, so we got that part done. Alright, moving on to this side of the engine. This poor motor's been just hammered. Okay. Now, here we go. Alright, so when I got this engine was ran on premix. There was a broken, what do you call it there, fitting in here for the line, what do you call it there, the oil line to move the oiler. Now I want to show you guys something. Anybody talking about these oilers, where can I get one? I can't find one for the KV75. Okay, that oiler right there, the Mick oiler, has been used for decades. Okay? When I say decades, I mean decades. I'm talking in the course of 50 years on two-strokes. Maybe 40 to 50 years, I would think. You know, right in that realm. Every two-stroke I have seen has a Mick oiler. When these things go bad, they don't stop oiling. They over-oil. And that's when they're bad. You can rebuild them, but there's no rebuilding kits for them. So basically you replace them. Now, I want to show you guys what I got. Some oiling systems, some oilers are hard to find. But this one right here is off of a KV100. Okay? A KE100, I'm sorry. So you can see how basically it looks the exact same. Okay? It bolts up the same oil lines. Everything is the same on this. Now, there's a little difference. See the end of the shaft? All you really got to do is change them out. That's it. They come off. You can replace them. And that's all there is to it. So in order for this one to fit on here, I got to take off this right here, the lever, switch the end of it with this one, and I'm back in business. I've got myself a good oiler, and you take that off and clean it up. The only difference is the way the cable goes on. But that's it. So the real unique part, and the reason why these have different part numbers, is because of that part right there. Which, as you can see, there's a nut right on the end of it, and it's replaceable. So, let's see, we're going to hit that with Let that soak for a little while, and then I'll take that off after. See if it comes off, how bad it comes off, and how hard. But I got a good oiler here, and from a KE100. Take that, just, you know, that piece just pops off the middle there. Another, you don't have to go crazy with it. Oil lines are in the same spots. Everything's the same. Okay, good. Yeah, just give it a couple little taps. Tap, tap, tap-a-roo. And that's it. That's all there is to it. And it comes right off. And then do the same thing to that one. Right there. The only reason why I'm replacing this oiler is because it hasn't been used in a long time, and it's probably been ran dry for a very long time. And if they've been run dry, it's not a good thing for them because the internals wear out. So then it would over oil. Pre-mixing these things is not a good idea. Reason for that is because they were set up to run on a mix. And the line goes from your oil tank into here, and then from here out, let me shrink you guys down, and goes up through this line right here, goes up to the intake. And that's the other thing you want to inspect too. Make sure there's no kinks or crimps in it. You want to make sure it's a solid line all the way through and that it's not leaking. This whole engine was leaking something all over it. I mean, this thing was just beat to heck. So we're going to get into that all later on. But for today, I just wanted to get this thing. I wanted to do an evaluation on it. And you can see the oil plug right here at the bottom. Goes straight down. There it is to drain it. And then you undo this screw underneath here. See what it says oil level or oil lev? That's your oil plug. You're going to fill it up until the oil comes out of here. And that's pretty much all there is to this, guys. So today, I'm going to be, I'm just looking at the engine, figuring out what I need for parts and pieces, and I'm going to go from there and put this thing back together. It doesn't really need a whole lot, so I'm going to get what it needs, and it's already zeroed in with the timing. I've got the broken piece that came off of it, so it just needs a little bit of welding, a couple little modifications. I'm going to take you out of the stand for a second. This right here is a Kawasaki KV75, and you can see the shaft. It's the same shaft. But the other end of it, where the gear selector is different. So we're going to take that shaft out. We're going to cut the weld around the end of it. We're going to bring that to the, we're going to cut it to the same length as the KE100. We're going to cut it to the same length as the KE100. Weld it onto that mechanism up in here. And then boom, we're all done. So anyway, guys, that's what I have for you today. I just figured to do a video, show you guys where I'm at with the KV75 engine. And that's pretty much it, guys. So thanks again for watching. If you guys have any questions or any comments, by all means, please send them my way. I'll talk to you later.